Hello, my name is Henry Monthaden, and we have a special treat for you today. Today in the studio, we have the one and only Machiavelli.
Hello, pleasure to be here. My name's Machiavelli.
Alright, thank you, Machiavelli. To start off this evening, we'd like to ask you, what is your stance on our position in the Middle East?
Well, that's a very interesting question, Henry. In my opinion, at least, a country shouldn't be willing to invade another country unless they are willing to completely destroy everything, to obliterate everyone. And for the U.S., it wasn't the right thing to do because they weren't willing to do that.
Machiavelli, does that not sound a little bit cruel?
Cruel, you say? No. If you're a leader, you need to be willing to go and destroy the country completely. Otherwise, you shouldn't invade at all. And cruelty may be a part of that. It may take cruelty to unite your people and be victorious in the end. But you can't be treading on that fine line of being hated.
Okay then, well, according to your beliefs, what is the ideal position for a leader to be in?
As a leader, it's ideal to be loved and feared, and not hated. But if you cannot be both loved and feared, then it's better to be feared. Now, I don't mean hated when I say feared, because feared means that although people may be intimidated by you, they still have respect for you and they will follow your order. Now, if you're hated, then that's a completely different story, because people will despise you and they'll have a reason to turn their back on you and leave you to die.
An example for our viewers of a leader who achieved such a position.
Well, let's take Agathocles, for example. He was born poor, but he gained power through military ranks and killing his own senators. And eventually, when he was king of Syracuse, he defended his city and he won power and trust over his people. Cruelty is a very useful tool for leaders. You can use it correctly by being cruel to, for example, other countries or even your own citizens who break the laws. And citizens will see what you do to the people who break the laws.
Are you saying that torture is acceptable in society?
No. What I'm saying is that being cruel to people who deserve it is right. But if you do it wrong by torturing people, then your citizens will no longer feel safe because of this inconsistent pattern of torturing people. They'll always keep a knife to their side and they'll be quicker to abandon you.
So Machiavelli, tell me, what is your stance on the topic of generosity?
Generosity? Yes. Say, for example, I give you and everybody else $100 a day. Everybody's happy. But then, for whatever reason, I need to stop being generous and stop giving you that $100 a day. What are you going to think of that? You're going to be pretty upset, right? That's why there's a fine line of being generous.
Don't you think people will appreciate the original $100 you give them, though, and consider you generous?
No. Over time, they'll take it for granted, and as soon as you stop, they'll be surprised and not happy.
Well then, how should a ruler achieve a generous standpoint amongst his people?
Well, too much generosity will pass unnoticed, so you need to space it out so every time you are generous, then people notice it and are more thankful for it.
Machiavelli, if you could choose any animal to demonstrate how you lead over people, which animal would it be?
Well, Henry, I'd either choose a lion or a fox. And it is best to be both, but if you had to choose one, then I would choose a fox.
What is this philosophy behind the fox and the lion, and why do you use it?
As a lion, you're defenseless against these traps, because essentially you're stupid. You're naive, and you won't see them. But as a fox, although you don't have much power, you can avoid the traps and you can maintain your power.
So Machiavelli, what is your standpoint on the importance of religion as a leader and remaining in power?
Well, although you may not be a religious person, you have to appear to be religious in front of your subjects. You always have to appear to have someone who's above you in all cases.
Alright, that is all I have for you this evening, Machiavelli. Thank you very much for joining us, and I'm sure this has been a big eye-opener for all of those seeking and craving power. Thank you very much for tuning in, and have a great night.